Hey, Nolly Williams here, author, trainer, national speaker. I'm the author of the national bestseller, Success with Listings. Oh, yeah. I wanted to make this video because so many big teams, large teams, and independent brokerages are moving over to eXp. And I wanted to make this video just to explain why that is. What's happening? Why is it happening? I've been an independent broker myself. I've been a broker since 2009. I got my broker's license, and I've chosen to operate through eXp. Why is that, and why do so many brokers like myself? Why have we decided to operate or run our operation, if you will, through eXp? So I want to just kind of walk you through a presentation that I put together just this morning, because this question comes up so often with my mentorship masters as they're going out and sharing, doing their real estate deals and doing stuff, and people are asking the questions. Just last week, as a matter of fact, I signed up two independent brokers. One has 16 agents here in Texas. The other one has 15 agents in Queens, New York. These are independent brokerages with their own company, their own identity, their own logos, and they're joining eXp. So let's dive into it. Let me get this presentation started so that we can just kind of take a look. And if you're like me, you've probably been doing the research. You've been looking. You've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of the presentations that are out there, and you're just thinking, is eXp the right move for me? With some of these independent brokers, it's taken them 3 months. It took me a little over 3 months. It took me 100 days to make the move. It's taken some of them 6 months. It's taken others, I've heard, a year to make the move. And so rather than just parade a whole bunch of these, because there's literally are hundreds of independent brokers that have already switched their brokerage to operating on the eXp platform. Okay, so instead of, I was going to make a ton of slides where I just parade one after another, 50 million, 60 million, 70 million, 100 million, $200 million independent brokerages that are selling, 300, 500, 600, 1,000 plus homes a year. But instead of doing that, I just want to get right into the meat of it, because that's what's going to be more important for you guys. I mean, if you're here, you're watching this, you probably have already watched other videos of other independent brokers that have made the switch. So I just wanted to make this kind of articulate video that kind of succinks everything and helps you understand why we're doing it. Okay, so I want to give you four of the big reasons, and then we'll get into some more of the meat of it as well. So, and by the way, these four reasons, I want to thank Janny Burke, who's our Vice President of Growth at eXp, for sharing this information, because she talks to independent brokers just about every day that are looking to switch and do their business through eXp. Okay, and stick around, because the cool thing is, one of the big things that I've seen is it's been kind of an ego risk. But the cool thing is, you don't have to give up your identity. That's a cool thing about it. So number one, it offloads all the risk. So who really knows on a daily basis what your agents are doing or saying, right? When something becomes an issue or is in question, the burden of proof is on you, the broker, to prove that you did everything that you could to educate that agent, so that you are not that you are not also complicit in the infraction. So we all know about, we know about the risk that we take when we take on these agents, sometimes newer agents, sometimes seasoned agents that may be doing things a little, differently. And so number one, it offloads the risk. The second thing it does for you is it eliminates those 24/7 phone calls. I mean, you're in the middle of a ball game or a little league game or your weekend. We all know this to be true. Is that every independent broker goes into business for themselves with a can-do attitude, and they are willing to do whatever it takes because they genuinely love the people. I know that that's true for me and for you as well. That said, at some point the Sunday night, I need help with this situation phone call when you're celebrating your kids or your grandkids' birthday gets old, and our eXp brokers take that off your plate. So one of the myths that people have with eXp being a cloud-based brokerage is that, they're not, the agents aren't going to get the help that they need. And the reality is they're going to get, our brokers are absolutely stellar, and they are going to get, your agents are going to get the help they need. As of this recording, we have over 400 full-time employees at eXp, right? They work right here out of the States, and they're here to help. There's tons and tons of brokers. Many states have multiple brokers to help. So a lot of that will be just completely lifted off your plate. Going into number 3, the technology race. So, we know that this is a race as an independent brokerage. There's no way to win the technology race. It just isn't. It's generally unaffordable for a small brokerage or an independent agent. Okay. So eXp offers KV Core and an unbelievable $85 a month. Now, when you're paying the $85 a month, it does include KV Core, but you also get SkySlope. You get a digital, like DocuSign, it's called DigiSign. You get that as well. You get to use over 3,000 different Regis corporate suites to office out of. So there's all this stuff that you could eliminate. I've seen brokerages eliminate $900 a month, $800 a month, $700 a month, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, and more in those operating expenses. The thing about technology is always changing. It's always rebranding and recreating itself. And you may not want to keep up with that. You may just want to say, you know what, I'm tired of keeping up with this. Let eXp do it for you. We're going to always be on the cutting edge of the technology race. Now, the 4th reason that independent brokerages are switching over to eXp is return on investment. Whether an independent broker has been in this business for 2 years or 25 years, they have experienced the new agent who knew nothing. They poured their heart and soul into that person because they love their people, and they assume a long-term partnership based on loyalty and friendship. In reality, what happens is we hear this: "Hey, buddy, thanks so much. You've taught me everything I know. I cannot thank you enough, and I know our families will always do birthday parties together. That said, I gotta go. I got a great opportunity over here, and I'm out." You've heard that. And when it comes to just straight up return on investment, you're putting all this investment into people, and you want to not only attract people, you want to recruit people, but you also want to retain those agents. And the way that you retain them is you've got to continue to provide all this technology, all the staff, and all the costs that go into that. And so just a good old-fashioned ROI, with eXp, you're going to eliminate a lot of those headaches. So how is that possible? Well, it really goes into the revenue share piece. And I'm sure you've seen lots of videos on revenue share, so I'm not going to be super comprehensive on this. I just want to get into the basics of it and then show you the real world of it and why independent brokers are making this switch. So you've seen the revenue share. You've seen other videos that explains the revenue share model and how essentially you've got various levels and that you've got different percentages on different levels. And so, at the first level with $16,000, it's a $16,000 cap. It's an 80-20 split. And so at 3.5%, you'd be getting $2,800 at that level. And at the next level, it gets higher and so on. So rather than go into detail, because I've got another video that explains that, and there's other videos that explain that better, I want to show you a real world view of what that looks like. So here's an agent, Fred Weaver, and here's what his revenue share is. So he's at 18 agents, and but his revenue share group has grown to 372. Now remember, we said that you can have agents at level 2, 3, 4, 5, or and so on. Well, if you look at this as a great example, this person has attracted 18 agents, yet they're making $15,000 a month. Okay, and this is within the first 18 months at eXp. Okay, so they're making, right now, this next revenue share check is $15,720. So here's what I want you to think about. Rather than attracting or having an independent brokerage with 18 agents, this person has decided, you know what, I'm going to use the eXp platform and run my business that way. And they've attracted 18 agents, okay? But that 18 agents has burgeoned into 372 agents, okay? Because it just grows. You know, you've got 18 agents. If each of those tells two people, and each of those tells two people, and so on. And that's just the way it grows. It just continues to blossom and grow out. So it makes more sense to have a brokerage with 18 people on your first level that you've brought, or a group, if you will, that you've brought on, than to have an independent brokerage of 18 agents. Because now, guess what? You're making 15,000 or whatever that number is. It could change. I mean, it could be different results for different folks, right? But this is kind of a good indication of what could happen. Now, let's look at this next one. This one right here has attracted 27 people. So just imagine you have a brokerage, you've got 27 agents, okay, that you've attracted to your independent brokerage. And with all the tools and everything, now it's easier to attract. And this person is making $23,000 a month in revenue share. That's without any copiers, with no printers, with no heating and air conditioning costs, with no staff, with none of those costs that go into running an independent brokerage. Okay. Now I know independent brokers that have 20 agents, and they're not making very much money at all. Okay, they're making very, very little money. And that may not be you, but in the case I know of one that's making less than 20, 30,000 a year after all expenses. This is absolutely zero expense money. This is residual income that's coming in. Why? Because that 27 agents grew to 355 agents, okay, in less than 18 months again. And now that's $23,000 a month coming in, okay? Here's another spreadsheet with other examples. This shows you the different levels here, 2,800, 3,200, how much you get paid on each level. And this person, for example, has 33 agents in July that grew to 402. How did that happen? Well, there's 33 on the first level, and then 50, and then that level 3 is 150, then 108 on level 4, and so on. Okay, so you can kind of see how this grows. And in July was making 30,000 a month. Okay, and this is what the checks have been. July 30,000, August was 34,000. September 30,000, October 31,000, and so on. Okay, these months it went down. Sometimes it goes down. Those down months of the year. Into February, then in March it came back at 50,000 a month. In May it jumped to 67,000. It went back down to 55,000. Okay, and then this month it hadn't completed, so those numbers weren't complete yet. And so I mean, we've got spreadsheet after spreadsheet that kind of shows this. If you want to see this, like a live demo of this, or talk to any of these agents that are, or even me that's growing my revenue share, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you, or anyone that's in my Mentorship Masters group that shared this video with you. So looking at how do you, when you join eXp as a independent broker, what does that mean? Like, how does it redefine you? How do people look at you in your local community? Okay. And how will they look at you any differently from what you are now to what you will become? Well, I got to tell you, you're an independent broker with XYZ Realty. You're going to be able to keep your branding. In most cases, you'll be able to keep your logo, or keep a logo, and maybe just change up the wording a little bit, if any. Okay, we can get into a specific conversation around that. But really, eXp wants you to brand yourself. Okay, eXp loves for you to brand you. Now, what you're going to do, you're just going to add on to what you've already got with a powered by eXp, powered by eXp logo. So essentially what I want you to think about is that you're running your independent brokerage on the eXp platform. Okay, it's not like you're taking on like if it was a franchise. eXp is not a franchise. eXp is a global brokerage. Okay, it's cloud-based. It's a global brokerage that's cloud-based, and so it's in all 50 states. Okay, and in Canada, it's in UK, it's in Australia. We're in other countries as well. So that's what I want you to think about. It's a platform for you to run your business from. Okay, that's what eXp is for you. Now, having said that, here's how you're going to let me show you how you're going to operate. Once you're here, so you can do it one of three ways, and I've got a whole nother video that explains how teams work at eXp. So internally at eXp, you're going to be seen as a team. Okay. Now you don't have to call yourself a team in the real world, but just in the eXp world, if you will, take it that way. You're going to be organized as a team. So you can be a self-organized team, and that's basically where you're the team leader, but essentially all of your agents are joining eXp directly, and they've got the 80-20 split, caps at 16,000, then they go to 100%. Okay. Now, if you join as a standard team, then you get to there'll be a minimum amount that you have to charge your agents as a split, but then you get to kind of set those splits. You can have your agents on a 60-40 split, 50-50, whatever those numbers are between you and your agents. And each of your agents that are on your team, okay, the way eXp has it, is going to be on a reduced half cap. And there are some cases now to qualify for that, you've got to be doing a minimum of 6 million or 30 closed transactions. Now, not everyone will want to organize this way. Some of you would just want to say, you know what, Nolly, man, I just want to join eXp as a self-organized team. And I want my agents to be I still want to keep the name of my company, powered by eXp. My agents will join eXp directly under me, okay? And then you'll just receive that residual income for those agents that join you, okay? Or you can join as a mega icon team if you qualify. That's $40 million in production with 175 closed transactions and 10 capping team members. So there's three different structures, and we can have a conversation around which structure makes the most sense for you. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that there are different ways to join that way. So moving on to the next. So here, I want to give you some things to think about as we close this video out on why you would want to take your independent brokerage and run it through the eXp platform, or what I should say is on the eXp platform. Number one, you get to retain your branding, okay? So don't get the idea that you got to just get rid of your branding. For example, I have Lake Life Realty that just joined us. They're still keeping the Lake Life logo and everything like that, but it's powered by eXp. So guess what? Most people in your local town, especially your clients and customers, won't even skip a beat. They won't even notice the difference, okay? You're going to notice the difference. Why? Because all of your liability, your overheads and stuff like that is going to go down. So you retain your branding. You also are going to attract agents worldwide. So no longer are you going to be squelched and stifled to only attracting agents in your local area. You'll be able to attract agents anywhere that eXp is, okay? That's the reason why myself, I've got agents all over. I mean, I've got them in Florida. I've got them in Hawaii. I've got them in Texas. I've got them in California, and everywhere in between, okay? So your borders have just exploded, just because you are now on the eXp platform. You get residual income for life. That's another big reason that independent brokers are joining, because they don't want to have to hustle and grind for life. They want residual income for life. Two different things. Agent training on demand. That's another reason. So you're not going to have to train your agents anymore. Guess what? We're going to be training them here at eXp. We've got over 30 hours a week of live training, live classes. That means classes that they actually, I was going to say physically, but it's like physically. They go in, they sit down in a seat in the auditorium in eXp world. They raise their hand when they have a question. They unmute their microphone, they ask their question, and their question is answered in real time. These are live classes, okay? So national referral network. So now you're going to be able to refer to agents all over the nation and in other countries. They'll be able to refer business to you and back and forth, vice versa. Okay, so you're no longer stifled to just your local market. E&O transfers to the agent. So now guess what? Instead of you having to pay errors and omissions, huge insurances on that, each agent is going to be charged $40 per transaction. $40. Okay, it caps at $500. So once they've paid $500 into E&O, it caps. So you no longer have that expense. Table funding, okay? eXp does table funding. So your agents are going to get paid at closing, okay? They upload their documents using SkySlope, which is also included, as a member benefit, if you will, at eXp. And so once all those documents are uploaded, the disbursement authorization goes to the title company or the law firm that's closing the deal, closing escrow, and your agent is going to get paid right there at closing. Now, if you have a team, you can structure that differently, but we provide table funding at eXp. You're going to have reduced expenses. We talked about that already. If you want to keep your brick and mortar, which I have several of the independent brokerages that have joined us that have decided to keep their brick and mortar because they're attracting tons and tons more agents by doing that, that's up to you. But all the other expenses that you have, guess what? You'll be able to go down with a checklist and line out those things that you no longer need because now you're allowing eXp to provide those things for you and for your agents. It gives you a platform. We've talked about that already. You now have a platform to operate from, okay? I want you to think of this as a long game strategy. This is not a short game strategy. I've got one of the independent brokerages that joined me, and he is legitimately profiting, okay, which is unusual, but he's profiting $10,000 every single month. Now, when he joins eXp, he decided to join as a self-organized team. So all his agents are joining eXp directly. So he's going to be generating probably about $3,000 a month. So instead of $10,000 a month, he's going to go back. He's going to be generating now instead of $10,000 a month, he's going to be generating $3,000 a month. So he's got $7,000 a month that he's going to be, quote, losing, right, by joining eXp. But the reality is, we looked at the numbers. He wants to be able to generate 15, 20, 30, 40, maybe even $50,000 a month residual income, ongoing income. So the 16 agents that he's got joining us, guess what? That 16 agents could easily grow into 200, 300, 500, 600 agents and more over time. Okay, so it's a long game strategy. You may give up a little bit in the front end, but look at what you're gaining in the back end. Do you want to really run an independent brokerage for the rest of your life and only making money when your agents make a sale? Or obviously the agents have to make a sale to receive a revenue share, but guess what? You're going to have more people in that revenue share stream. Okay, so it really is a long game strategy. So in this last piece, I just want to talk about the fact that I've also created a complete mentorship masters program. I've got the guide right here, just show you. This is the Mentorship Masters Success Manual. So every single one of your agents, when they join eXp and they're sponsored into eXp by myself or one of my Mentorship Masters, every single one of your agents is also going to get the full Mentorship Masters program. You can get this off Amazon. They'll ship it to you through Prime Shipping, or you can download it online. But essentially, what we offer. We've got a weekly group coaching call. In fact, there's two of them, okay? One that I lead out and one that my sponsor leads out. Now, my sponsors into eXp sell over 450 houses a year. I've sold over 1,000 houses within my first 10 years in real estate, okay? And I'm going to teach your agents to their ultimate greatness. Every single week, we're going to get on a group call, and we're going to, I'm going to teach, train, and coach them to their ultimate greatness. We have accountability partners, okay, here at Mentorship Masters. We have a book of the month where we're studying some of the great books, like, for example, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. We're studying books like The Secret to Permanent Prosperity by Mike Hernacki. So there's a book of the month that your agents are going to go through. It's curriculum based. They're going to get a complete portal of training that has over 60 training videos that I've personally done. So in other words, I'm going to help teach, train, and coach them to their ultimate greatness. Not going to get into everything that Mentorship Masters has because I've got separate videos all about that. But I just wanted to make this video just to share with you why so many independent brokers and brokerages are making that switch. And big teams are doing the same thing. They're switching over to eXp. Just some more things for you to think about. If you want to continue the conversation or get deeper into it, we'd love to do a Zoom call with you. Share it or get back with the Mentorship Master that shot you this video. We'd love to sit down with you and talk about it more. God bless, love you, and you have a great day. Hey, think about this because this is the opportunity of a lifetime.